Legendary.
Hey guys, Tab and Torus sent me this. We have a double view of their Dorado game from the other night. Tab is going to be on the top, mostly playing Pharah. Torus is going to be on the bottom, playing Ryan, the whole map. This is a minute and a half into the game. I believe the soldier swapped off something to counter the Pharah. I don't remember what he started on. This is the first view of the comps I got. While I'm on the topic, I think you guys checked the comps like once or twice throughout the game. I could count on one hand. So it was an improvement from the last Torus VOD, but you guys should check comps after every fight. Try to make that a habit. Because right now you aren't really being proactive with how they're swapping. And you aren't tracking your ults, which is a big deal. So just want to throw that out there. Jumping into the comps, they have double long-range hit scan with a dive tank line. And solo heals Zen and Bastion. So I'm going to say something right away. The dive tank line in combination with the long-range hit scan, this is a really not good idea. Obviously you guys didn't know what they were going to come out with, but double sniper is bad in general, but it's really bad versus D.Va Winston Soldier Widow. The dive tanks are going to clear any gap and create as much space as they need for their teams, as well as applying a shitload of pressure to the snipers, while the Widow and Soldier can apply almost the same amount of pressure to the snipers. The only value you're getting out of the snipers right now is hopefully a pick on a Zen and hopefully keeping the Bastion down. But overall, this isn't going to work. As far as Pharah play goes, at least for myself, I have a slight little rule of thumb. If they have one long-range hit scan, I usually limit myself to that. Once they swap to 2 or 3 long-range hit scan, I usually just get off of Pharah. Because it reaches a point where you can't do anything. You're constantly shooting from behind walls and you're getting no value. Obviously, that's not always the case. If the hit scan sucks, you can play Pharah. But I don't really think that's the case in this game. Plus, if you have a Bastion and Sentry form and you're not paying attention, he'll shoot you right out of the sky. You have 3 threats you have to deal with. While trying to kill the Zen, it's going to be really difficult. That being said, just kind of already covered it, but we're running triple DPS with literally 0 sustain. We have Torus on the Rhine, who's going to be our barrier, but we aren't going to have anyone who can play with him other than Monster and Ultima. Augsbro could play with Torus, but I don't think he really does for the most part on first point. You'll notice things kind of go to shit right away. I'm just going to jump into it. There is a breaking point on Dorado first where you have to drop behind the arches. And that breaking point is typically after either one of your teammates dies or once the cart gets like right here, you just have to get back. And that needs to be communicated right away. Because you'll see what happens once they start pushing up here.
Yes, they do.
Make sure this shit's recording. Yeah, it is. Okay. So Winston instantly kills Terrapin. There goes our res. Torus got dove. Nobody told him to back up. The cart's already under arch. Then you guys are split between high ground and low ground. This fight instantly went to shit. Somebody should have made a call. Probably Terrapin or Monster or somebody in the back to back up and regroup immediately. Because the cart's already in the choke here. When the cart's on this choke, this is like the best time to hold right here. Once they get the cart through the choke, you immediately become at a huge disadvantage because hopefully you can see my mouse. Sorry. Let me pull up my pen. Bear with me. Epic pen. See if I can get a better view while we're at it. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the cart right here. It's in the choke. When it is here, this is the optimal time to be holding behind choke. Because the enemy team cannot push high ground on either side because they have to push the cart through this choke here. They have to be on the cart to push it through the choke. The reason I keep saying that is because as soon as they get that cart up this slope here, they don't have to go through this choke anymore. They can split between two high grounds. They can do a coordinated push up through this staircase here and totally catch you guys off guard. They have options once they get through this choke, and that's a bad thing. So this is why I say there is a critical breaking point when you need to drop back here, and you guys missed that by a long shot. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it going.
Okay.
So cart's almost through choke. They're getting up the slope. Tab's the only one in front right now. You guys are still split and nobody's talking. I mean, it's a good eye by Tab to get to Zen, but dude's just not dying. So Torus is back, but now you guys are just in like a constant state of staggered. And Torus has nobody to play with him. He's just kind of on cart duty while everyone else is running around like their heads cut off. This right here is an optimal time to take back control. Push the cart back into the choke and group up with Torus, but you guys don't really have a comp for that. If you guys had like Junkrat and McCree, or Junkrat Soldier, Junkrat Genji, or any sort of DPS line with like two tanks here, this would be so easy to hold right now. But your line is so frail, and there's no sustain or utility that you guys just roll over like dominoes. And Torus is just getting bullied. He's trying to sit on the cart, but he's got nobody to help him.
I'm coming back, I have trance.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Soldier had my number. Oh, Widow had it wrong.
The state of staggered continues. If you can't take a 6v6,
Soldier's going up
it's going to be really difficult.
in the little hotel.
They have closer spawns, so the more you die compared to them, the more at advantage they are. This is a good kind of combo here, good pin. Bastion's Torus' nemesis right now, right? Bastion's gonna set up a sightline to the cart and just spam Torus every chance he gets. So that was a good move by Torus. Tab hit some good shots there, but Widow popped some. It's hard to play Pharah right now. This is not easy. Pharah is really good at holding a position, especially holding a position with high ground. She is really bad at taking ground. Unless it's like taking a high ground position where you can conk. But that's not the case right now. Like, trying to take ground away from a Widow and a Soldier as Pharah is really hard. Really hard. See how timid he has to play.
5 seconds on res.
This is what I'm talking about. This sightline, he's just, whenever he gets this set up, he just fries Torus. And if people aren't killing him, Torus is literally gonna just have the most frustrating time. So Monster did a good job using those reses on Torus. I would have done the same. So that was good thinking. But you guys are still getting fucked because you don't have
Why is like no one ever near the cart?
any feet to stand on, really. I just don't know how else to say it. It's just like Torus is the only guy who can hold the cart. How is he gonna do that versus comp by himself, you know? It's just impossible. So shit's not gonna get any better here, right? Streets is not a whole lot different from First Point. They just have more options now. They have more high ground, more routes to take, and you guys still are running this really weak, flimsy comp. Rez is already gone. The fight hasn't even started. Soldier and Widow are just going ham. They can do whatever they want right now. Winston's got Torus backed into a corner, so the hit scan can just literally do whatever they want. Because Torus isn't getting any help. This is a good swap by Tab. D.Va's good on maps like Dorado because, I mean, she's a tank for one, but she can take the high ground and deny some of those positional advantages that like characters like Widow will get. So Augsburg goes Roadhog here. So we're running triple tank with the Widow. That was good ult by Ultima. So you guys have... I'm totally blanking on the word. Stabilize, that's the word. Sorry, I've been watching too much Overwatch. My brain is fried. You guys have stabilized. This comp is going to be 10 times better. Even though they have a Bastion, that's fine. But you guys have so much more to work with now. You guys can actually work together. You guys can actually coordinate abilities. You guys can focus fire. And you guys can help Torus. It gets a little scrappy here. Ultima kills the Bastion, and I think this is where things turn around. Because this is really bad spot for Bastion. Because you guys have cart control, and he has run out of options now. Third point Dorado is really tough for a Bastion to get in position. His only options are to walk in main and try to get a sightline that you guys are maintaining control of, or you can take one of the two tiny left or right doors. The right door, Tab, is right there. And the left door isn't going to yield much, right? If Bastion tries to take the high ground without his team, Tab can just jump up there and kill him. So things have suddenly gotten way better for your team, for a lot of reasons. Many of them just being the swaps. See, Soldier's going for the hero play here, which would have worked 2 minutes ago if you guys were still running that flimsy ass comp. But now that you're running triple tank, this Soldier can't do shit with attack visor. Tab's doing a great job pressuring him because he can now. Suddenly you guys have control of this map. One thing I will say about that Tab, if you had meleeed twice, you would have killed him. He's got like 40, 30 health. One melee, one or two melees, you would have had him. So I want to point that out. Meleeing as D.Va is definitely something good to do. Work it in as a combo, like using shift while firing missiles and shooting. And as soon as you get to your target, hit a quick melee and you'll get a lot of damage in. Same goes for Winston. You want to do a lot of melees when you're close like that. First one target, of course.
No more Widow.
So they swap Reaper. This is one of the obvious hard swaps. I have my own opinion about hard swaps. I don't think they always work. Like running Reaper in a triple tank or running Pharah into close range comps. Everyone thinks like guarantees. Sorry, I'm talking. I don't want to take this away from Ultima. Everyone thinks that hard swaps are like a guarantee. They are not by any means a guarantee. Especially this Reaper in a triple tank. Because you guys are now doing a good job of working together and communicating just by default because of your comp. And that enough can overcome this Reaper swap. And it does. That being said, Reaper telegraphs a nice Death Blossom here that Ultima does a great job countering. He telegraphs the shit out of it, but
oh, I saw that coming.
It was a good trance. So Reaper doesn't have ult. He already used shift. Tab is bowling him. Like, Reaper's not doing shit now. And you guys still have complete control over this map.
Bastion left.
That was a good pin. That was like a classic Rhine gravity pin. Just sucks him in. See, this Bastion doesn't know what to do. That's like literally all he can do. He sets up back there, Terrapin shoots him, it's over.
Reaper above you, Tab.
I mean, at this point, the Bastion is just throwing. You guys have taken control of this map, and they need to wisen up like you guys did. But they're not quick enough to adapt.
Reaper's still up there. I can't do much to him.
The Winston lane. Where is he?
Sombra.
They need a Rhine, they need a Zarya, they need like a Junkrat.
Soldier and Reaper on the right.
They did get the Mercy a little bit ago, but it's not enough. Another good trance. He fights over. He's just trying to keep his guys up. Nothing wrong with that. Tab, you're like a really good D.Va, dude. You should really play more D.Va. Like, you're definitely a natural D.Va player, I can tell. And I think the new D.Va complements your style. That was a really good play, Torus. Everyone's just kind of cleaning up. They're totally just tilted, wondering why they can't push, and it's because they didn't adapt. So you guys got dumpstered the first part. You guys would have gotten snowballed if that Bastion had been Mercy or something. Like, they would have taken it all the way if they had a 2-2-2 with that comp. But they didn't, and you guys did a good job adapting at third point. A little shaky at the beginning, but yeah, you guys took control in third point. I'm hoping you learned a few things about Dorado and comps and stuff. I didn't want to talk too much about individual play since there was two things going on at once. And this was a glorious 6-stack, so I get to talk about everyone. This was a really, really good VOD. Thank you for doing this. I would like to do more of these like side-by-side reviews. It's kind of fun having multiple views since we don't have the replay function yet. So the best I can do is this first-person analysis, which can be kind of tough. So yeah, please keep sending them, guys. I really like this one. Thank you.